安提瓜岛，面无边际的沙滩。当地人说，一年当中每一天有着不同的游泳场。安提瓜是一个真正的加勒比海地区的珍珠，但是如果你从海岸线内瞭望内地，这些金钱便开始消失了。
Many of the homes there were shacks, and many of the schools there didn't have a regular power supply. We went to install computer labs there.
Most of the schools had very little in the way of technology, so when we brought computers in, it was most of the kids' first time using any computers, getting on the internet, and it was great to put them in the classroom for them to use.
为了帮助当地学校和儿童，西雅图新港高中的思科系统的一群勤奋的学生们，利用春假时间带一个大货箱的电脑，启程前往安提瓜。
The schools in Antigua were really colorful, and it was really interesting because all the children there wore uniforms, and every time they smiled at you, it just felt really uplifting, and it felt really great to be there.
We have been preparing for this trip months in advance, and we had to have each computer cloned and ready to go because once we got to the location, we only had 3 to 5 hours to design, set up, and network the entire lab.
几天休息之后，我们便开始了工作。我们有的卸托盘，有的拆包装，迅速地把电脑和网络安装了起来。
In Antigua, we set up a bunch of computers in schools. We did about 15 schools, and there were about from anywhere from 5 to 30 computers per lab.
First thing I did as team leader was to give out jobs to other people.
We would decide where the computers would go.
Checking the power, checking the internet to make sure we had everything that we needed to set up.
Then we would network each computer and connect it to a central router, which would connect the entire lab to a wireless mesh network on the island.
Rolling power outages were very common in Antigua. Their power grid isn't as reliable as the one we're used to in the United States.
So at one of the schools, we were installing a computer lab and the power went out. So we had trouble moving forward, and we went out to talk to the kids that were at recess, and we ended up watching them play tennis, joining in jump rope.
Just going to the different countries is a really great experience.
Each time you go on the trip, you get kind of a different taste of the world.
We're not giving them computers only. It's like they're giving us a culture.
The Cisco trip was probably one of the greatest experiences of my life, and I've gone for the past 2 years, so I can't wait to see what next year brings.